we say we used to not do things on social media back in the day. Thank God social media didn't exist when we were in college. Now those things come back, and those are the little ghosts in your closet that are coming up. And so if you don't have enough positive out there, the negative starts rising pretty quickly. You thought something was dead and buried. Nope, it's back.
So we're at AmSpa, and I am joined here with Robin Dimond, the CEO and founder of Fifth and Core.
I'm super excited to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you. Gosh, we have so many things we could talk about, but I want to talk about one thing in particular. I feel like we are in the largest rise of traditional PR like ever. Like if you would have asked me a couple years ago, like how important is traditional PR? And what I mean by that is like, your articles, your Vogues, your GQs, but also like your local golf digest and your wine and country and like your local PR. I would say, yeah, it's kind of important. It helps credential you and it's kind of good. It's okay. And now if you ask me, I would say it's one of the most important things because it has a massive effect on AI search. And I just want to talk about it with you because you are the queen of PR.
I mean, we love it. We are seeing this new synergy. And like you said, if you asked me a few years ago, I would have said, no, that's something I learned in college. And now we're seeing a resurgence of it. And it is really helping. So like the sites that you're building, like we're able to drive more traffic to them. We're able to help you with your GEO, your SEO, all of those things. And it also highlights you in a different way. If you're saying I'm the best, it's great to have other people, other articles, magazines, all of those things saying that you're the best.
I love that. I keep trying to like get this little phrase to catch on. We'll see how I do. I call it positive mentions because what
Yes.
AI cares about more than anything is the number of positive mentions. So a bunch of Google reviews, Instagram, being active on Instagram, people talking about you, Reddit, it likes Reddit, but it
Yes.
also likes PR, like a very valued article where somebody is talking about you that has some weight, some medical credentials, something that makes a little sense for the industry, wellness, aesthetics, or something like more like luxury style, like golf, wine, food, but a magazine of some sort or something that has some sort of respect to it. Mention you like PR has a huge point and AI really heavily leans on that and will cite that. And I think you've seen it a lot with your clients recently where they're coming up in AI search largely due to the articles that you get out for them.
And we have a lot of joint clients. So it
Yeah.
does take having the foundation of everything and then being able to push out there the organic pitches to get them mentioned. People also want to know the owners now. They want, like you keep saying golf, and I love that you keep saying that because I want to know that my plastic surgeon has the same luxuries as me, or they care about health and longevity, or they're a mom. And I want to know that. I know all about your daughter. I want to know like why you're doing this and what is that behind it. And so hearing the stories and seeing it all in different articles, getting those, what do you give back into community?
Yes.
So a press release, it's not just the articles, it's also doing a press release of what you gave back to your community, why it impacted your business, why you do those things. That's so important nowadays for helping you rank in those.
Yeah, on the flip side of it, if you're not any form of negative PR or things that would more easily be buried with time, for lack of a better word, right? They have more of an impact now because AI can bring them back up,
Uh-huh.
unfortunately.
And people, it's like, we say we used to not do things on social media back in the day. Thank God social media didn't exist when we
Yes.
were in college. Now those things come back, and those are the little ghosts in your closet that are coming up. And so if you don't have enough positive out there,
Mm-hmm.
the negative starts rising pretty quickly. You thought something was dead and buried. Nope, it's back.
Yeah, it's wild. I will say, what makes somebody a good candidate for PR? Because a lot of people go, okay, they have a plastic surgery practice, they have a med spa, but they're like, okay, but like, what are we going to write about? What makes it worthwhile for me to hire a PR company? What will set me apart? Like, what are you looking for in a person? What do you help them accomplish?
I love this question. Thank you for asking it. I don't even know if I could have told you to ask this question. It is that they're unapologetically authentic.
Okay.
They're willing to give their opinion, whether it's positive, negative, something that's coming out there. They are able to respond quickly. So some of these journalists from Vogue will be like, I need this article in the next 24 hours.
Yes.
So it is somebody who's ready to take their practice to a new level, who's okay being able to be on a call, and that also can like reinforce what they believe in. Whatever way you believe, it's totally okay. But that is the ideal candidate. If you're not ready to dedicate that kind of time, and we guide you and we help you and we get on all those calls with you, but like if you're not ready to go out there and be a voice, then you're not ready for it yet.
Exactly. And then let's be straight with people for a second.
Okay.
PR is a pay to play game. Let's just call it what it is. There's a reason you hire a PR company. The PR company has all the connections with the Vogues, the GQs, even the smaller local magazines. But a portion of what you're paying is going to those magazines. None of them are for free. It's terrible to say, but
They're not.
They're not.
Nothing is for free in this world anymore.
I know.
And so if you're sitting there thinking like, oh, I'm paying this PR, we're putting a wire service in there. We are guaranteeing these different blocks on that. That is pay to play.
Yes.
A lot of people come up to me and they're like, I want to be in Forbes. And I'm like, me too. Do you have the money and the budget? So there's a way. Now, there are journalists out there, and that is what you're paying for too, is the time to go and reach out to those journalists and say, hey, we have this article, or we have this insight, or this opinion on a facial plastic surgeon or a dental. That is the stories that we can get organically, but it is pay to play. And I'm so happy you said that.
Well, yeah, I think it's funny because some people I will talk to and they'll get frustrated because they'll see a doctor down the street from them or a provider injector who has amazing press, and they go, well, that person's not that great and I'm really good. And I'm like, okay, but they're paying that game. Unfortunately, I would argue and say, look, there are some articles that are free. When what's his name? Dr. Stephen Levine, the Kris Jenner facelift doctor in New York City. When he got mentioned in People, I promise you he did not pay for that, right? No. He did Kris Jenner's facelift and he went viral and it went in magazines. But for the people who are a lot of those Vogue articles, a lot of those GQ, a lot of those Forbes, I would argue that 90% of them are paid. I don't know. Am I shooting too high
here? No,
here?
you are right on cue. I would say probably 95% are paid to play. Now, once you start getting featured, that is when the other articles come out. And that's where that 5% of like, they saw you here, and so now they want to highlight you.
Yes.
But you have to get started.
Yes.
It's like being a speaker at one of these things. They're like, oh, I see so-and-so on every single stage. Well, that person took every 7 o'clock morning stage time so that they can get the main time stage time. There was the time and the effort to get it. And now they are paid to be a KOL, but they were not one before.
That's so true.
So you have to have that years of that, of like, then people are seeking you out. But until people know who you are, no matter if you're the best breast surgeon out there ever, no one knows that.
I love that you said that because I find that true for myself. I do speak at a lot of these conferences, right? The aesthetic meet, AM Spa, these various things. And when I first started off, I mean, I was the worst times. I had to battle it out. I had to pray for it. You know what I mean?
You did. You're like, I'm speaking by the bathrooms. I hope you
come there. It's a side room. It's not a main hall. And I took anything I could get. And now the truth is that I get asked to speak more than I can accept. There's only so much travel I could do in a year, and it's wonderful. But it did take a lot of grinding, years of grinding to get to that point.
And I love that you say that because they're the small ones that you want to be featured in your hometown one.
Yes.
Because first of all, that gives you credentials and credibility. Yes, you want to be that national place that everyone flies into, but you got to be known locally too.
Yes.
What community? I want a student to have written about you at a university, because now that is feeding into the next one. And I love that. Like we said, the bathroom talks. There's 5 of us. Come and see me, and I'm making it a big deal.
Yeah.
Those small articles lead to the big ones, and that small stage time leads to a sold out room that people want to hear you say those things.
Absolutely, and it once credentials you because AI has this viewpoint. And look, this can change. And I'm honestly not even saying it's correct because it's actually something that scares me about AI, which is a whole nother conversation,
which we can definitely
talk about. But AI. That's why I go back to positive mentions, because it's about the velocity, the speed, how often somebody is mentioned, how many places they're mentioned. It doesn't go, this doctor has the best before and afters, so this is why I'm recommending them to you. No. It goes, this doctor is really famous, and people talk about him a lot on Instagram and whatever. And I've seen with my own eyes, because I've been in this industry a long time. I know what good work is. I know what doctors are the best in every city. I mean, I've been in this industry a long time, okay? And I have seen it with my own eyes. ChatGPT or Grok or Gemini make recommendations, Sometimes valid, great providers, but I've also seen some names on there where I go, okay, but that he does the worst belly buttons, for a tummy tuck,
Like I would
it's terrible
never,
to say
yes,
that, but ultimately it comes down to being willing to play the marketing game a little bit and doing the PR and putting in the work. Now, I would say career-wise though, I'm curious to say PR is not necessarily a day one activity. It is something you have to be somewhat starting your practice. You have to have been somewhat putting in the work. You're through your first couple years. You put in the paid ads. You put in some of the SEO. You've gotten enough where you can actually have a conversation and have articles and have speaking spots. So you do need a couple years under your belt, and then you hire a PR company, because it is also something, frankly, it's to be at least probably 4, 5, 10 grand. PR is not an inexpensive effort,
it's
right?
not.
It's up there. And a lot of PR companies do cost in that 10 grand range. I'm sure you could get something around the 4 or 5,
Yeah.
but it is not inexpensive, right? So you have to be at the point in your career to bring that on, but it is a necessary thing
It's
that you need to do.
it's the next level. So you need a website first.
Yes.
First of all, actually, you need a brand first.
Yes.
So you
Brand.
need a branding. We know some great branding agencies. We will drop their name right now. Great branding. You need that first.
Yeah.
Then you need a website, because where are we driving people? I could do all the PR in the world. I can get you on Vogue, but if there's no good website,
Yeah.
or I get the spinning wheel of death, we're not ready.
No.
And then we want those layers, like you said, paid ads, organic. Do you have organic social? Do you have paid? Do you have paid Google ads? All of those things are super important. And you're thinking about it. PR is when you also have SEO.
Yeah.
I need Influx to give you that base of SEO so we know what words you want to rank for. And so it is something, it's that extra layer. It's the maintenance program here
Yes.
that you're going to be adding on. And you also have to know PR is also podcast.
Yes.
And people don't talk about that. It is getting on stage. It is being that speaker. It is not just an article. And if you're trying to get in Forbes, yes, we can pay enough money for you to be there. But if there's nothing else or no other article, I'd rather be in 200 articles than one that I paid for.
Absolutely. It's also the next step. So you're in a city, right?
Mhm.
SEO is very localized to your city.
Yes.
Google Ads is only to the radius that people are willing to drive, but it is very localized, right? Might even be a couple hours out, because it's for plastic surgeon, for an injector, non-surgical, but to me much less. It might be a 5-10 mile radius, right? So it's most digital marketing is very localized. It can't be any other way, just because of how Google works, how some of the AI things work. But when you want to get fly-ins, when you're going, I don't want to just be famous in Pittsburgh, I want to be famous everywhere, from Tampa or whatever city you're in, then that is when your social media and your public relations, your PR, come into place. Because
Yes.
to be famous to the point of people willing to fly in for your services, that is the next level. It is a non-negotiable to have an active social media and PR presence. And those things they're very tied in together. Those two things are.
It's like someone saying they don't have a phone number or a website anymore. That's where we are. So if you don't have if you're like, I should get on this thing called social, I'm like, you should have got on it 15 years ago. The organic social, and also where are you going to have those stories? If we get you in Vogue, where are you going to put it? We want everyone on your social, and it's not just Instagram or TikTok. We want it on your LinkedIn,
Mhm.
because we want to make you look like an authority in the space. We want device companies coming to you. We want product companies coming to you and saying, hey, this is the person who's leading the industry.
Yes.
And so making sure it's on all of your socials.
Yes.
And it's like treatments. If I just get Botox in one place, okay, I'm going to still have movement all over. I need it everywhere. It's an omni-channel approach of leveraging skincare and all of those things. And it makes you look like that industry expert. And it does take it. The other thing is we're not talking about is PR in other languages.
Yes.
We are so focused on being this, but if you are near in Texas and you have a Spanish speaking population, why in the world are you not putting out a press release in Spanish?
Yeah.
You will rank faster with Google than anything else, because no one else is putting that out.
No.
So we love writing articles. We love writing that kind of PR press releases in other languages too.
I love that. So it's so funny. One of our strategies that we do as a company is obviously it has to make sense, like the right city for it, but we will very often do Spanish pages and Spanish content, and even sometimes a second entirely Spanish site if it's very heavily Spanish speaking.
Yes.
For a lot of our clients, it's very quick to rank for it. It brings in a lot of traffic. In some cases, like up to 20% of all their leads were Spanish. Like it's really worthwhile to do that strategy. So I couldn't agree more. And even for clients like more like in the Montreal area, like in Canada, French as well. It doesn't always have to be Spanish. It's whatever just makes sense for that demographic, right?
We have a huge demographic in the Korean industry, so we write a lot of copy that way
I love that.
for over in California, and that's super important. So know who your demographic is and how you're reaching to them. Also, the other thing about like PR, put things in simple terms.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh my gosh, if they cannot spell blepharoplasty, don't put blepharoplasty. Okay, we want to rank for eye lift, eyelid, like all of those keywords. It's the same thing you want to rank for SEO.
Yes.
We want to do in our podcast.
I love that. And it's funny. Like I said, kind of at the very beginning, this was less important a couple years ago. It really was. I would have said that this is like, but if somebody came to me and said, hey, is PR a must? I would have said, no, it's an option. But it has changed so much with AI because AI is going to grow. We are at the very, very beginnings of AI, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger. And it is something that AI heavily leans on. So if you do not have a PR company, it's time. It is a growth strategy. It is not a day one strategy. I can't have you spending your SEO and paid ads money on that, not when you're not ready. But when you go, okay, I have a website, I have some SEO, I have some decent, I'm getting some organic traffic, I have some ads. Okay, but how do I get better AEO, right? AI search. How do I get better reach? How do I get people to know about me? How do I come up in Claude and Grok and ChatGPT and Google's AI overview? You're going, what's my next level? A PR company is 100% a must as part of that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Was there anything else you want to tell our audience?
I mean, we are kind of doing something together.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we probably should talk about the collective.
Let's talk about it. The cohort.
It's our aesthetics collective cohort.
See, that's how new it is. We're
It's
still
so new.
talking the title, so bear with us.
And what I love and what this industry is changing is finding people. So people will be like, oh, you're both doing marketing. Why are you talking to each other? And we're like, no, because it takes all of these partnerships. And I love coming together with industry experts like you guys. And I'm staying in my lane and coming together with Pinpoint and working with Skytail. And we have all of these 5 companies coming together to really do a cohort for practices and where it's going to be exclusive. They can ask questions. And there's so much importance to this.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be groundbreaking to sit down with 8 other practices and say, here, let's put it all on the table. Kind of like a founders club. Like it is, okay, let's come out here and let's give you the industry expertise that you need to know because the world is changing so fast. I don't think 3 years ago when we were someplace in Vegas before, we would have said the exact same thing. These things are changing overnight. And it's not your job to stay on top of it. It's your job to find other people who can stay on top of it.
Absolutely. So if you want to know more about the cohort, just email us. It'll be info@influxmarketing.com. We'll tell you all about it. But it's basically going to be an educational group of 5 companies that work well together, that know this space, and we're going to be having it sectioned out. Each cohort is only going to have 8 practices in it, and it's going to be based off of the size of revenue that practice, because the education that I'm giving to a $1 million practice versus a 4 million versus a 10 million, or a single provider practice versus a 10 provider practice, it's really different. And it's really hard for us sometimes to do some of this education that we do at these conferences or podcasts or webinars, because even here we're talking about PR, and I'm not talking, if you're sitting here listening to PR and you're just starting your practice, it's like this whole podcast doesn't apply to you fully yet.
Don't listen to it yet.
Not yet. You know,
come back to us. Yes.
Come back to us. The cohort, though, will help you. The collective will help you be in the correct bucket and get the education you need for you in your practice. And that is something that is very much lacking right now, which is specific education for where you are at your practice level growth or what you're trying to get to. So it's exciting, coming soon, a lot more information, but we're very excited about it.
All right. Well, I thank you so much for having me on this, and I really appreciate it. I can't wait for our new stuff that's coming out.
Yeah, me too. Thanks, Robin.
Yeah.